I wish sweet cold death would embrace me. Hello and welcome back to the Wild Hunt, and my name is Beast, and today we're back with Hoshizora no Memoria. Please tell me that her being knocked the fuck out, just causes her to become normal, basically. Also, I accidentally mixed knocked the fuck out and shut the fuck up, which turned into knocked the fuck up, which not yet, I guess, but you know, still kind of bad. Anyways, let's just. Oh, hold on, I forgot to do something. Hold on. I'll be right back. Won't take long. There we go. I just I didn't. That would have been a bad thing. There we go. Now I'm done with everything. Sorry, I just had to start grinding for tomorrow real quick. Anyways, please repeat yourself.
ちなみさん、ちなみさん、聞こえますか？ちなみさん、意識を、こちらに。そう。その調子です。眠りから覚めるように。赤ん坊が産声を上げるように、君を待つ世界を感じてください。その先にある私を知覚してください。おはようございます、ちなみさん。
310. Fuck you, Chiname. Instantly worse character because I have to censor now. Like, if she wasn't terrible before, she now made me censor things. Which, you know, very much is a goddamn nerf to any character. Like, she's clothed, so why did they have to make Chinami naked? Answer me that! Fucking riddle me this!
気分はいかがですか？
Terrible! Because of you!
妖精さん？はい、妖精さんです。ここって。超銀河団領域。幾千億の星を抱える銀河。幾千の銀河を抱える銀河団。さらに幾百の銀河団を抱える領域。超銀河団。君は、そんな高次元の世界にいるんです。限りなく全知全能に近い。12次元の領域です。人のふるさとである天の川銀河。さらに、そのふるさととも言えるでしょう。
Stop explaining.
考えないでください。
ちなみ、夢にいるの？
はい。私が、君をここに送り返したんです。二人きりで。お話ししたかったから。
お部屋では、いつも二人だったよ。
それはただそう見えていただけです。三次元領域では近くに限界がありますから。
妖精さんの他に、誰かいたの？
はい。
誰？
高次元の精霊を時折見かけました。幽霊みたいなものです。
幽霊が、ちなみのそばにいたの？
はい。
宇宙人じゃなくて？
残念ながら違います。
ちなみ、幽霊なんて見たことないよ。
考えないでください。どうせ夢ですから。
今気づいたけど、ちなみなんで裸なの？
深く考えないでください。どうせ夢ですから。
The game literally just said, you're like, "Oh, we don't fucking care. We don't need a reason to do this. Why you fucking need a reason for me to do this? If you don't need a reason to do this, I don't need a reason to come to your fucking headquarters and beat the shit out of every single one of you." Got that? Good. Fuck you.
妖精さんは、ナイトメアなの？
悪夢を体現させる無魔ですか？六次元の存在ですか？よくご存知ですね。
葵ちゃんから教えてもらったんだよ。
だけどプップー。外れです。
そうなの？
そうです。
じゃあ、何なの？
星の神様です。
そうなの？
そうです。と言っても、そんな大層なものではなく、単にそういう類の存在というだけです。君とはふるさとが違うだけの存在です。
妖精さんのふるさとって、どこ？
忘れました。君たち人間がよく忘れてしまうように。私ですが、
Fuck, sorry.
ゼロ次元あたりに席があればいいなぁ、なんて思ったりしてます。
どうして？
全知全能の神様のふるさとだからです。
それってすごいの？
わかりません。ですが妖精さんとしては勝ちかなぁと思います。考えないでください。どうせ夢ですから。
妖精さんは？
名前はレンです。天文部の皆さんは、そう呼んでいました。今は、恋の死神なんて呼ばれているみたいですけど。
都市伝説の死神のこと？
多分そうだと思います。いくら私がダメ人間フェチだからって。ダメ可愛い人が好きってことです。
それだと、どうして恋の死神になるの？
恋に溺れる人間ほどダメな存在はないからです。それで私が干渉したせいだと思います。
そうなの？
そうなんです。多分ですけど。
レンさんって呼んだ方がいいの？それとも恋の死神さん？
妖精さんで結構です。どうせ夢ですから。
妖精さんのお話って。
そうですね。話が脱線してしまいました。君に言わなければならないことがあるんです。大河君との約束で。
大河？それって。
私は彼との約束で、君を見守っていたんです。助けが必要な時は、助けてほしいって。だから、教えます。君のそばにいた、精霊からも聞いていたこと、君の両親のことを、教えます。
Kukusaka Chinami knew of the circumstances surrounding her birth. She first learnt those details on the grave visitation day. It was back when she was still in elementary school before they moved away and still lived in Iparikasaki. She happened to hear it by coincidence. was a conversation between her mother Kasumi and presumably her grandparents in front of their apartment's door. She was getting ready to leave for the gravesite, so he wasn't with her. Yol was getting ready to leave for the gravesite, so he wasn't with her. Hence, Chinami was sitting acutely all by herself. The topic of the conversation was her father and Yol's father. Her family had wanted her to get married with Yol's father. However, Kasumi instead broke up with him shortly after giving birth to Yol and got together with a different man. They went on to have a child together, Chinami. At the time, her family was livid. The result of that was Kasumi being cut off from them. However, after the passing of some time, they had a change of heart and now wanted her to return home. They asked her to take her 2 children and come back to live with them, to live together as a family. They spoke for the whole family when they said that, including Shino too. So they asked if they could come along to visit Chinami's father's gravesite. They said they could now accept everything. However, Kasumi refused. Not now, she said. Her duty had not yet been fulfilled. She hadn't fulfilled the responsibility of raising her children. It was her dream, so she was the one who carried the responsibility, she had said. Until then, Chinami had been coming along to visit her father's gravesite without even giving it much thought. But from that day forth, she stopped. Chinami's father and Kasumi had fallen in love with each other. Even as a child, you could tell that it was an action most people would frown upon. So Chinami started to rebel against her mother Kasumi. She started to rebel against her brother too, who took their mother's side. Visiting her father's grave was, of course, out of the question. From the time she made her music box during summer break, feelings towards her mother and brother started to soften. But still, her father alone she could never forgive. After all, that man was the source of all the hardship her mother and brother went through. Her mother had her hands tied with work, and her brother taking care of the housework. And that, without anyone there to turn to for help. Her mother and brother were left alone to shoulder that burden. What could Chinami do? She would only get in the way. The 2 of them had to sacrifice themselves while she lived just fine. At the end of that road, her mother died. She had continued to push herself beyond her limits, before ultimately passing away from overwork. She had disappeared from this world right before Chinami's eyes. So she knew that if nothing changed, her brother would be next. Now the responsibility had been shoved onto him, and it would be his job to take care of his little sister, who caused nothing but trouble. Her brother would, of course, shoulder everything on his own. He would sacrifice himself, ultimately disappear from her life forever. She would never see him again. That thought hurt. If taking care of her resulted in his death, she would way prefer it be the other way around. Her taking care of her brother and dying in the process would be a result she was fine with. After all, she'd always believed that she was never meant to be born in the first place. Someone like her, someone who only got in the way, had no need to be in this world. In her mind, she called out to her father, "Why did you have a child with Mom?" And to her mother, "Why did you give birth to me? If you hadn't, you wouldn't have had to suffer so much. You wouldn't have had to end up sacrificing yourself. You could have lived a happy life together with Taiga and Oni-chan. But why? Tell me. Tell me, Dad. Tell me, Mom."
お兄ちゃんと一緒にオルゴールを作った時、ちなみはたくさん泣いたんだよ。とってもいい曲だったから泣いたんだよ。良くない曲だったらよかったのに。そしたらお父さんのこともっと嫌いになれたのに、ちなみは悔しくて泣いたんだよ。
はい。
You know, this entire scene would hit so much harder and be so much nicer and more emotional if I wasn't pissed off about the fact that she's still naked and I still have to keep the fucking the censorship screen up.
悔しくて、それから 心の中でごめんなさいって謝ったんだよ。ちなみのせいで迷惑かけて、お母さんとお兄ちゃんに迷惑ばかりかけて、
はい。
お母さんとお兄ちゃんばかり犠牲になって、そのうちにお母さん死んじゃって、
はい。
ちなみのせいで死んじゃって、だからお兄ちゃんまで。
それはわかりません。私がわかるのは一つだけ。君が気に病む必要はなかったこと。君にとっては悪夢だった。それもみんなにとっては夢だった。君の母の幸せは君が幸せであること。君の父の幸せも君が幸せであることだった。嘘じゃありません。私は本人から聞いていますから。精霊となっても君を見守っていた君の両親から聞いていましたから。
そうなの？
そうです。
じゃあお兄ちゃんの幸せは？
それはわかりません。君が自分で聞いてください。
どうやって聞けばいいの？
わかりません。自分で考えてください。
ちなみは考えるの苦手だよ。
わかっているじゃないですか。最初からそれでよかったんですよ。君は家族について考えなくてよかった。責任を感じる必要なんてなかった。
So basically, the game is telling us that the entire time we think for once, Chiname. Turns out, the entire fucking conflict is because she decided to think for once. So quite frankly, it's probably better for her to just get a lobotomy at this point.
無理に父親を嫌いになることはなかった。母親に反抗することはなかった。兄を世話しようなんて気負わなくてよかった。ただ、感じるままでよかったんですよ。
感じるまま。お父さん、お母さん、お兄ちゃん。
それでいいんですよ。君の父が作曲し、君の母が楽譜を守り、そして君の兄が君と一緒にオルゴールとして再現したこの旋律が家族の象徴だから、送り返した君の夢、君の家族に返してあげます。君を家族のもとに返してあげます。
Family, she says. If you dare making me censor something again just now because I got rid of it, I will fucking go berserk.
やっほー。
やっほーじゃない。こんな時間にいきなり電話して、今から行くと一方的に告げて切るとはどういう了見？
コーヒーお願いね。
君はいつまで経っても傍若無人だね。
うちの旦那がさ、シノのところに診察に行ったのよ。大事はないらしいんだけど、ちょっと気になってね。
待ってくれ、話がつかめない。
例の都市伝説が気になっただけよ。昨日、あんたの娘たちも聞きに来たんだけど。
そうなのか。
何とぼけてるのよ。あんたの差し金でしょうが。
どうして差し金になる？知りたがっていたから君を紹介しただけだよ。
別に怒ってるわけじゃないわ。私も若い子と話せて楽しいっちゃ楽しかったし。
結局僕に何の用なんだい？
天文部の部長だったあんたは都市伝説をどう考えていたのか聞きたくなってね。
僕は信じ
どの部分を？
僕が知っている都市伝説では、余命いくわくもない男が 恋人だった女に自分のことを忘れてほしいと願った。すると死神が現れて女から男の記憶を奪っていった。そしてそのまま男女は別れることになった。
その中のどの部分を信じるのよ。
全てだよ。
恋の死神が二人の恋を裂いたって？
あ
レンがあの二人の恋を引き裂いたって？
あ、ああ。
本当なら酷な話ね。
そうかな。僕はそうは思わない。
なんでよ。これだと死神のせいで二人は別れたってことになるじゃない。レンのせいで霞が恋を忘れたってことになるじゃない。
やったのはレンじゃないさ。実際に手を下したのは彼女だろうけど。だけど彼の気持ちを考えるとね。
私にはわからないわ。好きになった相手に自分のことを忘れてほしいだなんて。
そうだね。僕も都市伝説がそこで完結していたら納得できなかったかな。
どういうことよ。
この都市伝説には続きがあるじゃないか。男のことを忘れてしまった女は時を経て再び男と巡り合い、そしてもう一度恋に落ちた。
私はやっぱりわからないわ。だって女にはもう他の男がいたんだから。
そうだね。これは綺麗な純愛物語じゃないからね。
あともう一つわからないことがあるのよね。
なんだい？
なんでこの話がひばり港の都市伝説になったのかよ。
僕たち天文部はよく天体観測をしていた。夜に展望台や校舎の屋上を使ってね。そこにはレンも一緒だったことが多かった。そんなレンをたまたま見かけた誰かが死神だと思ったんじゃないかな。
あの大きな鎌を見て。
ああ。
それで生徒の誰かが噂を広めた。
あ
あ。じゃあ男女の仲を裂いたってのはどうするのよ。
どうしたものかな。
何よ。結局あんたもわからないんじゃない。
それを解くのは僕らの世代じゃないだろう。都市伝説の男女、その子供たちの世代だろうさ。噂を流した誰かも多分それを望んでいるからね。
It was only when mild rays of sunlight started to shine through the gaps between the curtains that Shino noticed. Chinami had slightly opened her eyes, before slowly blinking once, and a second, then a third time.
Chinami-chan.
Shino calls her name. Her voice is hoarse from the huge relief coupled with the exhaustion from having stayed up all night. But Chinami had apparently still heard it nonetheless, as she then directs her eyes towards Shino. Shinami's hand reached out from under the blanket. Shino reached out to hers too to grasp it. She then takes her hand, smiles. She wants to take her hand, smile, and wish her good morning. But she can't. Something is preventing her. Something deep inside of her. Next to Shino, Chinami sits up in the bed. Chinami's hand, that was yet hovering in the air, reaches out further. But the direction changes to one different from Shino's. Her voice seemed desperate. Hearing that word, family, hurt Shino. The wrenching pain jolts Shino out of her thoughts. Shino goes over to the sideboard and takes the paper music box sitting there into her hand. She had heard that Chinami made it in elementary school back in the city, but it looks older and more worn out than its actual age would have you believe. She figured it's probably because she uses it so often. The fact that it isn't really dirty or anything, in spite of that, suggests that Chinami must be maintaining it conscientiously. Shino gave the music box to Chinami. The music box, she said, was her family's. Chinami turns its handle, and melody fills the room. It's a song Shino knows of, but never had she heard it playing through a music box. Back during her high school days when she was in the astronomy club, that boy would always play it in the school's piano. It was around when Chino had just started school there and was still trying to figure out what club to join. She figured she would first of all check out the brass band, since her older sister Kasumi was in it. It was when she visited the music room that she found the boy playing that piece. Maybe Chino was enchanted by that. She learned that he wasn't actually in the brass band, but rather the astronomy club. So Chino chased after him and joined the astronomy club. It wasn't only after the fact that she found out the boy was dating her older sister. Her sister was in the brass band and he in the astronomy club. Since he was dating Kasumi, he would often make appearances during the brass band's rehearsals. She had thought and thought about why he didn't join the brass band himself. It just made no sense at all to her. Someone so talented at the piano, even able to compose on top of that. What reason would he have to choose a science club over music? So eventually, curiosity got the best of her and Chino asked him why. He answered her the following: because I love the starry sky in Ibarigasaki.
お父さん。
The melody of her memories continues to play. The warm tone, color, coupled with Chinami's tears, also pulls at Chino's heartstrings.
お母さん。
Chino wants so desperately to reach out towards her, so desperately to embrace her shoulders, but she can't. Hesitation wells up. Why, she asks herself. There's something she swore she would do when it was decided that she would be taking in her niece and nephew. She swore to her sister. She promised her that she would fulfill the dream the both of them left incomplete. That she would take care of the two children she had left behind. That she would give them a new place to belong. That she would give them a home. Give them a family. Do I, someone that can't have children, have the right to do that? Chino calls out inside her mind.
あるわ。私たちが保証する。
Like, yes, touching moment and all, but still. She's basically like sitting here like in doubt, and suddenly the spooky ghosts from the other realm decide to fucking tell her like to get her shit together. She felt like she'd received an imaginary push on the back in that moment. Okay, that's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. Gently and softly, Chino goes on to embrace Chinami. She had overcome that something. For the very first time, she had hugged Chinami. First time since they had started to live together. A voice then calls to her. A voice then came to her. You can do it. I believe in you. Summon your courage.
シノさん、お母さんと同じ匂い、同じくらいあったかい。シノさん。お母さん、大好き。
Aunt Chino evolves into MILF Chino. I mean, Mom Chino. I'm bad. Why is the love of a family something so heavy, I wonder? Walking through life while shouldering it was exceptionally hard. So hard that it made you gasp for breath. You think so too, right, Dad? One of those days I'll make you have a taste of it yourself, too. A taste of this happiness so huge it's suffocating.
おはよう、お兄ちゃん。
Okay, first of all, get the fuck off of me. Upon waking up, I found Chinami right in front of me. Rather than being surprised or even feeling relief that she regained her consciousness, I felt suffocation. Chinami actually went and straddled me while I was
やっ
asleep.
とお兄ちゃんより早く起きられたよ。
Pressing all her weight onto me, Chinami flashed me a light
約
smile.
束通り、ちなみに朝食作らせてね。
Tried to object. However, the pressure on my lungs made it difficult to even
だって
breathe.
ね、お兄ちゃんは頑張ってたから、昔から友達と遊ぶこともしないで、お母さんの家事の手伝いばかりやってたから、一人で頑張ってたから、ちなみも手伝うって言っても断って、それどころか面倒をかけるちなみの世話までして、ちなみはいろいろ下手っぴだから。 何もできなくて。
I just imagine you were just like lying in bed like, what the fuck has happened to her? What the fuck happened to her? You know what, actually, let me check something.
ちなみも手伝う。それどころか面倒かけるちなみの世話までして一人で頑張ってたから。ちなみはいろいろ下手っぴだから。
It does work a lot better with the more somber scenes, but yeah, that voice actress does not do energetic little shit well.
だからちなみ、やり方を変えてたの。お兄ちゃんに面倒かけないように友達をたくさん作ろうって思ったの。そうすればお兄ちゃんは安心する。友達がたくさんいるちなみだったらお兄ちゃんが世話することもない。
It does imply that her fucking, like, overly energetic fucking nuclear missile levels of energies were, at least to a degree, an act. Which I guess would explain her long sleeping hours as well in a way, because she's like acting so overly energetic, so it exhausts her to a certain degree. Huh. I think that actually kind of makes sense a bit. Just a bit, though. It's kind of a long reach, you know. Anyways.
ちなみのそばにいなくても大丈夫って思える。お兄ちゃんの負担がなくなる。お兄ちゃんは犠牲にならないで済む。なのにね、ちなみが友達たくさん作ってもお兄ちゃんはあんまり変わってなくて、やっぱりちなみは面倒かけて、やっぱりお兄ちゃんはちなみのそばにいなくちゃで。だからね、今日こそはね、ちなみが家事するんだよ。お兄ちゃんより早く起きたから。ちなみがお兄ちゃんの世話するんだよ。ちなみはもう子供じゃないから。子供のちなみは嫌いだから。何もできないちなみは嫌いだから。お兄ちゃんに頼ってばかりじゃダメだから。だからちなみは。
I gave her a pat on the head. You can be a real fool sometimes, you know. Finally managed to speak. You really were thinking stuff like that all this time. Usually you just act like a doofus going around not using your brain, yet inside you were actually thinking all that. Look, I don't know what gave you that idea, but I've never not once thought of you as a burden. I had my hands full with just helping out Mom as a kid, so I couldn't really handle focusing on anything else. But it's different now. I'm alright. Just like you aren't a child anymore, I'm not a child anymore either. I'm not sacrificing anything right now. So, look, you just stay the way you are. I'd much rather have my usual goofy little sister than something else. I love you, Chiname. My little sister, and I love you. Just the way you are. So don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Come to love yourself the way you are. Learn to love those qualities about yourselves that I do. Self that I do. If you can become happy, I'll be happy as well.
妖精さんの言った通りだった。ちなみは幸せ者だよ。お父さんとお母さんがいて、しのさんがいて、お兄ちゃんもいるんだから。大好きなお兄ちゃんがいるんだから。そんなお兄ちゃんがちなみのことを好きって言ってくれるなら、お兄ちゃんが好きなちなみをちなみも好きになれるんだよ。
Chiname's face came down, and her lips touched mine. Oh lord. I felt like I was going to asphyxiate. I would want to asphyxiate myself after that. My mind went blank, and I seriously had a feeling of suffocation. That was how much weight this kiss had. Ah! I was just lying there afterwards like, what?
お兄ちゃん、ちなみ、こ こんなに早く起きたの生まれて初めてかもしれないよ。
That's not hard to imagine. I mean, sheesh, it's still only 5 a.m. We changed out of our pajamas and met up in the kitchen again. Aunt Sheena was sleeping in her room. Apparently she said she'd be up when the hospital opens. We're getting Chinami examined, but it seemed Chinami herself was on the impression that Aunt Sheena was the one the doctor would be seeing. Well, if she started whining about it, I'd just have to skillfully coax her into it.
お兄ちゃん、朝ごはん作らせてくれるって約束守ってくれるよね。
No worries, I
今
won't.
さら邪魔なんかしないでね。
I won't, but promise you won't go too crazy. I mean, it's not like I want to be taken care of.
そうじゃないよ。ちなみは難しいこと考えるのやめたんだよ。今はただお兄ちゃんと一緒に家事がしたいだけなんだよ。
I believe that was effectively the same, though. But anyhow, I need to sort this out. What was that kiss all about? Would be quite stretched to say she just did that half asleep. And of course, it couldn't have been me dreaming either. Pondered it calmly. Oh, don't tell me. Back then I told her that I loved her. And she responded saying she loved me too. Well, then that could be it. But was it really that?
じゃあ早速作るね、お兄ちゃん。
When I returned to reality from my thoughts, Chinami was holding a frying pan. What's on the
シュ
menu?
トーレンだよ。
The German bread people eat around Christmas time.
その通りだよ。
The baked sweet specialty that involves kneading dried fruit into dough, letting it ferment, and then after baking it, imbuing it with rum, coating it with butter, and finally putting apricot jam on it.
その通りだよ。
Isn't that a bit too advanced for you?
そんなことないよ。ちなみは卵を焼くだけでティラミスが作れる凄腕料理人だからね。
And our skilled cook here went on to simply drop eggs into the frying pan without even making a dough and using the oven. It's so absurd that I didn't even know what to tell her. It gave me the burning urge to stop her, but seeing her using the frying pan so joyfully, I reconsidered. Right, if I stopped her now, we'd be back where we started. Chinami had hated who she was. I've learned that. What I had ought to do was watch over her and not scold her and praise her, so that she could love herself, so that she could keep her smile.
卵が絶妙な塩梅にどす黒く変色してきたよ。これでいいかな、お兄ちゃん。
Perfecto, Chinami! Muy excelente!
お兄ちゃんが壊れてる。
Is the stolen already done?
見て見て。
There were charcoal logs inside the frying pan. Perfecto, Chinami! Muy excelente!
一体どうしちゃったの、お兄ちゃん。
Guess we'd better get the table ready then.
テーブルにお皿並べるね。
Logs of charcoal were then put on a serving plate. I had meant to take one with my fork, but the tines broke off in the process. Perfecto, Chinami! Muy excelente!
それ何かの合言葉なの、お兄ちゃん。
Guess you can't eat these with forks.
じゃあちなみがあーしてあげるね。
Chinami grasped the log of charcoal with her whole hand and thrust it in front of me.
はい。あーん。
Perfecto, Chinami! Muy excelente!
よくわからないけど逃げないで、お兄ちゃん。
I suppressed my fear and bit into it.
どうかなどうかな、欲しいかな、お兄ちゃん。
Perfecto, Chinami! Muy excelente!
口に入れたのすべて吐き出してるよ、お兄ちゃん。
Chinami, sorry, but I'm already full. I can't.
まだまだあるからいっぱい食べてね、お兄ちゃん。
Charcoal logs were then stacked up highly on the serving plate. Perfecto, Chinami, muy excelente!
あくまで必要に繰り返すお兄ちゃんが恐ろしくてたまら
Some
ない
very
よ。
thorough teaching would be vitally necessary whenever she decided to prepare breakfast again. As we were fooling around like that, eventually Aunt Shino got up. Seeing Chinami smiling, Aunt Shino was smiling as well. She directed something like an embarrassed smile at me. That made me feel somewhat embarrassed myself. Following that, we went to the hospital in Aunt Shino's car, and the result of the medical examination was that Chinami was in perfect health.
そっか。ちなみちゃんが元気になってよかった。
Is the important bits over? Can I just skip now? It's... I feel like I've been recording for like 4 hours. Why is it only 14 minutes?
ちなみはいつでも元気です。だからこれからもバイトよろしくお願いします。こちらこそよろしくね。
Apparently also had been worried too. She was visibly relieved seeing Chinami back in her usual spirits.
小笠坂君もバイトを続けるのかい？
Yep, I have no intention to quit.
シノは何も言ってなかったのかい？
So did they know about it? I talked it through with her. We talked about it on the way to the hospital. When you think about it, I did the same mistake as Chinami. Just like how there was no need for Chinami to take care of me, there was no need for me to take care of Chino. We're family, there was never any need for that to begin with. I'm actually going to start saving up for something.
そうなのかい？
Yep.
それは何だい？
私は知ってるよ。
Yeah, I've already told everyone in the Astro Circle. Before I was thinking that'd come after I had given Chino the money for our food expenses. See, I was wanting to save up for a telescope. In response, he nodded with a smile on his face.
それはシノも喜ぶだろうね。もちろん僕もね。僕たちはひばりが崎の星空に見せられたひばり港の天文部だからね。
When lunchtime ended, Oscar showed up again, just like he had for the past week or so.
ちなみちゃん、大事はなかったんだな。よかったぜ。
ですから肝試し出動とあればちなみですから肝試し出動とあればちなみはいつでもハセさんじます。
You're still interested in urban legend?
当たり前だよ。ゆうべは妖精さんに会った気がしたけど、あれは夢だって言われてるしね。恋の死神の正体はまだ暴かれてないんだよ。
それでこそオカケンの一員だぜ。また情報仕入れてくるから、その時はよろ。
それまでにバイトでお金貯めて新しい虫取り網を買っておきます。私も天体双眼鏡磨いておくよ。
Guys, I guess that means I gotta find a new mobile game.
お前らはもうついてこなくていいから。
Also, his dad was watching over our conversation from afar, a satisfied expression on his face. At night, the stargazing session we'd scheduled for the day started.
来てあげたわよ。
Today was actually, incidentally, Zakaki's first time attending club.
渋っていたんですけど、無理を言って連れてきてしまいました。まあ遅かれ早かれ来なきゃいけなかったし、監督するって言った手前はね。誰も監督なんか頼んでないのに。麻生先輩、ちなみも望遠鏡の準備手伝いますね。ありがとう。
The two then proceeded to assemble Asu's telescope. As I was watching over the process, Chinami wouldn't wreak havoc. I also began getting her own telescope ready a little bit away.
お姉ちゃん、手伝おうか。望遠鏡触っちゃダメかな。
Away petted Suzuha's head.
じゃあ三脚の用意だけお願いできる？
I hoped the day would eventually come when we could ready her telescope together with everyone. And then just stare at pitch blackness together.
なんだか部員以外もいるようだけど。
They're interested in joining and wanted to check us out.
ひばり校の部外者もいるようだけど。
But school regulations allow that now, right? Izagaki suddenly crossed her
曲がり
arms.
なりにもテンクルは伝統ある部活なんだから、ひばり校に恥じない活動をするようにね。
And there she went with another lecture.
その伝統ある部活を潰そうとしてたくせに。それとひばりが崎の星空にも恥じないようにね。そんなのもちろんだよ。
僕たちはこの夜空が好きだからこそ天体観測をするんだからね。
The same hold true for Mare. Even though Mare often looked up the stars at the lookout, she hadn't shown herself on the rooftop yet. But maybe she was already here. Maybe she was here with us, just invisible.
問題だけは
起こさないでくださいね。
起こしたらどうするんだい？
廃部にします。
シータ
先輩、どうぞ。
When Cosme passed Okaizumi a puzzle ring, he calmed down.
はい、減点1と。
Man, you say that, but quite frankly, you haven't learned from the first dozen times he's reacted like that. Cosme was wearing a wry smile on her face. I sat to chat some with Okaizumi while I waited for the telescope to become ready for use. The subject was the music box that was currently being repaired.
明日元顧問がマスターにオルゴールを渡しておくそうだよ。
I fixed
今
it.
日中には治るそうだよ。制作者が言うんだから間違いないんじゃないかな。
So it really was him who made it, huh?
しつこく尋ねたら教えてくれたよ。隠すつもりはなかったとか言い訳してたけどね。
What exactly is that, teacher?
何者って？
Well, I heard he's a math teacher, but saying that he can craft music boxes, you know.
先生はプラネタリウムの投影技師なんだ。
Okaizumi said so
宇宙
joyfully.
科学館の館長だった頃もあったそうでね。一時的に教師を退職、いや異動と言った方が正しいのかな。館長をやりながら臨時講師の形で授業をすることもあったそうだから。
Isn't that kind of, I don't know, unusual for someone who was a regular teacher at a school to suddenly become a director of a science museum?
先生は
center?
伝統あるひばり校の天文部の顧問を務めていたし、自身も優れた技術士ということもあって市の推薦で選ばれたという話だよ。ちょうど僕や葵くんが天文クラブに入っていた頃に館長を務めていたそうなんだ。それから科学館が廃館になるとまたひばり校に戻ってきた。これらの話もしつこく聞いたらしぶしぶと教えてくれたんだけどね。
今の本当ですか？
Presumably having listened to our conversation, now we cut
本
in.
当だと思うよ。本人がそう言っていたんだから。
Oh, is something the matter?
その先生とは学校の廊下で何度かすれ違ってまさかとは思っていたんです。館長がひばり校の先生なら納得です。だから先生はこの鍵を私に。
Oh, yeah, it's something resting on the palms of her hand. It was her key to Yubari High's rooftop. She was silently staring at it. I still didn't know what emotions were resting within it. But why did he make a music box?
先生は複雑な投影機を作れるくらいだ。趣味でオルゴールを作っていても不思議はないかもしれない。もしかしたらどうしてもオルゴールを作りたかった理由があったのかもしれないけど、
After saying so, he shrugged his
こっちは
shoulders.
いくら聞いても教えてくれなかったよ。
Yeah, he's become even more of a mystery to me than
君
before.
は転入生だしまだ会ったことがないんだね。だったら直接会いに行ってみればいい。まあ三島先生はぶっきらぼうだけど、
Mishima?
態度はぶっきらぼうだけど生徒には誠実だからいろいろと話も聞けるんじゃないかな。
You said the teacher's name was Mishima.
そうだよ。三島大河先生。伝統ある天文部の顧問を長年務めてきた僕らテンクルにとっても恩師にあたる先生さ。
I just gotta just like to imagine he's like there with like a can of coffee or something because it's fucking cold out here. Of course he's gonna have like some warm drink. And like he said, you're like, ah yeah, wait. You're saying the teacher's name was Mishima. Yep, Mishima Taiga. My dad's a teacher here! Just chucks the can on the fucking floor.
修理完了。やっと終わった。
Like, oh, I finally got her done. Door gets kicked open. Dad, you little motherfucker! You know, that's actually true, but still, that's quite rude. Also, hi there. It is awkward, isn't it?
おめでとうございます。パチパチパチ。
パチパチパチ。
あのバラバラだった惨状から見事完璧に復元した。俺はやっぱり天才だな。
おめでとうございます。クスクス。
その笑いはやめろ。
私は大河君が大好きです。クスクス。
もうとっとと片付けて出るぞ。
テンクルが天体観測を終えて部室に戻ってくる前でよかったですね。
そうならないように急いだんだ。
望遠鏡を置きに来た部員と 鉢合わせになったら大変ですからね。
おかげで部員たちが屋上に出るまでここを使えなかったが、終わった今となってはどうでもいい。
最初から部室を使わなければいい気もしましたけど。
なんだかんだでここが一番落ち着くんだよな。
部員からは逃げてるくせに。
正確には部員じゃない、霞の子供たちだ。
And yet you're running away from the kids. Hey! Not all of them! Just 2 of them!
そんなに見つかりたくないんですね。
ああ、そうだ。
こそこそと逃げ続けるんですね。
さっきからうるさいぞ。霞の娘を助けろって言ったの根に持ってるのか？
それは違います。私はちなみさんが大好きですから。
お前の大好きは相手にとって失礼なんだよ。
ダメ人間。クスクス。
片付けたし行くぞ。
待ってください。その手にあるのは。
これか？お前も知ってるだろ？ペンダントだ。
オルゴールに忍ばせなかったんですか？
ああ、というかこれを入れていたから音が鳴らなかったんだ。スペースを食われてな。ペンダントのせいで大元になるシリンダーを入れられなかったからな。
では本当に直したんですね。
そう言ったろ？
どうして君が言ったんじゃないですか。
Whoops.
ちなみさんを見守ってほしいって。このペンダントをテンクルのシンボルに忍ばせておくことで、私はちなみさんのそばにいられる。ちなみさんの家はひばり港に近いから。
Oh, so she's inhabiting the pendant. So I am assuming that the meteorite that fell those 7 years ago is the celestial host object of Mare, then. Since I assume that means that a host object does need to be present and they cannot move away too far from it. Or something like that.
だから、私はちなみさんを助けてあげられる。そう、君と約束したのに。なのに、君が持って行ってしまったら。
いいんだ、もう。いいんだよ。
頭、撫でないでください。
俺は、霞の子供たちがひばり港に転入すると知って、お前に頼むことにしたんだ。霞が死んで間もない子供たちは元気に暮らしていけるのか心配だったからな。それでちょうど修理で預かっていたテンクルのオルゴールにこのペンダントを忍ばせた。学校の中で他にいい隠し場所がなかったからな。テンクルのオルゴールはうってつけだったんだ。シンボルとして大切に扱われていたものだったから。学校の中で他にいい隠し場所がなかったからな。確実に安全が保証される場所が欲しかった。学校の安心してお前を預けられる場所だったから。
だったら。
だけどお前の報告を聞いてもう大丈夫だと思った。俺の出る幕はないと悟った。ちなみには陽がいる。陽にはシノがいる。シノには霞とあいつがついている。だからもういいんだよ。
じゃあ約束は？
この約束はもう終わりだ。
そうです。ちなみさんがダメなら陽さんはどうですか？陽さんは見守らなくていいんですか？
ああ、俺の息子にはもったいない。
Okay, fuck you!
お前を渡すのはもったいないからな。だからレン、新しい約束だ。俺を助けろ。これまでも助けてもらっていたけどまた助けてくれ。俺が上がり症なの知ってるだろ。授業中はずっと黒板向いていないとまともに喋れないくらいに。お前が授業を受ける生徒たちを見守っていないと成り立たないくらいに。このペンダントは俺の首にぶら下げておくからさ。
約束？
あ？
大河君と約束。
そうだ。俺とお前の約束だ。
ダメ人間の大河君とクスクス。
お前だって似たようなもんだろ。ダメ宇宙人だ。
違います。ダメじゃないです。失礼です。そもそも私は宇宙人でもありません。人間でもないですけど。ふるさとが違いますから。この隕石がどこから来たのか、どの星から旅してきたのか。
まだ思い出せないか。
はい。
隕石を形作る鉱物というのは地球上では確認されていない種類のものだ。宇宙を旅して蓄えられたエネルギー、鉱物が発する微細な電磁波もまだ解明できていない。この辺りは携帯電話の電磁波も一緒だな。人体に無害かどうか明確に打ち出せない。現代科学の限界だ。だからお前が一体何者なのか今の俺たちには測りようもない。思い出したいよな、自分のふるさと。ダメ元でも研究所で調べてもらうって手もあるんだがな。
君がそれを望むなら。
いや、望まないさ。未知の隕石なんて言われてぶんどられたらたまったもんじゃない。
私とお別れするのは名残惜しいですか？
そんなんじゃない。お前を託してくれた姉貴に申し訳が立たないだけだ。
Wait, he has a sister as well now?
長いになったな。行くぞ、レン。
ダメ人間。大河君はダメ人間です。とっても。
Stargazing session over, we'd returned home. Chinami, changed to her pajamas, was still in the living room, though it was getting near her bedtime. She was plopped down right next to me as we watched TV. Chinami, aren't you gonna go to sleep?
お兄ちゃんは？
I think I'll stay up a bit longer.
じゃあ、ちなみももうちょっと経ったら寝るね。
Though her eyes were shut every now and then, she managed to keep herself awake. She refused to leave my side. As for Aunt Chino, she was currently in her workroom. It was just two of us out here. We sounded TV to fill the silence.
ちなみ、ねもねもじゃないから起きてるよ。
It was so quiet because Chinami was dozing off. And before long, she was out of it, leaning over on my shoulder. I figured you wouldn't be able to lift it up in my arms. Her body was considerably light. While she was growing up compared to before, she was still above all a child. That kiss must have been some sort of misunderstanding on her part. With regards to that kiss, Chinami hadn't brought it up at all, and I of course hadn't asked her anything. I carried her to the second floor, entered her room, and placed her down on her bed.
ちなみ、ねもねもじゃないから起きるね。
She crawled out of it again like some zombie. It's already late, so just go on to bed, okay? Slitted eyes, then open.
あれ？ここって。
Your room.
お兄ちゃん、一大事だよ。
What's wrong?
ちなみ、リビングにいたはずなのに部屋に戻ってるってことは、これって神隠しかな？それともタイムトラベルかな？あるいは宇宙人が UFO に乗せて連れ帰ったのかな？
I'm going back to my room now.
平然とスルーされると傷つくんだけど。
Good night, Chinami. I tried to leave, but she tugged at my sleeve. She wouldn't let me leave her bedside.
お兄ちゃん、どこ行くの？
Like I said, my room.
もう寝るんじゃないの？
I'm going there precisely because I'm going to sleep.
それはおかしいよ、お兄ちゃん。こんな近くに安眠できそうなふかふかベッドがあるんだから、わざわざ戻る必要はないんじゃないかな。
Oh, and just so you know, Knucklehead, I'll get up earlier than you tomorrow again.
だからスルーされると傷つくんだけど。
Are you suggesting we sleep together? Chinami bobbed her head up and down.
その通りだよ。
With a hint of embarrassment, but still very spiritedly, she said so. Like back during the Bond Festival.
その通りだよ。
Her first question is why?
ちなみたちはもう恋人同士だからだよ。
What in the hell?
そんな驚愕しないでお兄ちゃん。
You're me, boyfriend, girlfriend, you say.
そうなんだよ。
Can you tell me when exactly that happened?
今朝の間にだよ。
Why, God, what did I do to deserve this?
落ち込まないでお兄ちゃん。
Listen, Chiname, you and I are brother and sister.
そうだね。
Generally speaking, siblings don't enter relationships with each other.
ちなみはそんな科学的根拠もない悪しき因習に屈する不和雷動的マジョリティじゃないよお兄ちゃん。
No rational basis. Bitch about to start calling the goddamn Habsburgers handsome. So fucking surprised that the goddamn characters in Immortal Paradise haven't developed Habsburg disease yet. By the way, I will never fucking touch even with a 10-foot pole. The only thing I know about Immortal Paradise is the fact that someone told me that apparently the main characters in the second game are the children of the main characters in the first one. And the characters in the third one are the children of the characters in the second one. And and even if it's just like a fan-made project, just for the fuck of it, just somebody make like Immortal Paradise like 20 and just everyone has Habsburg disease. That'd actually be kind of fucking funny. You know what, hold on. I'll save that for later. Why, God, what did I do to deserve this?
だから落ち込まないでお兄ちゃん。
What exactly makes you believe that I consented to becoming your boyfriend this morning?
ちなみとキスしたからだよ。
Why, God, what did I do to deserve this?
軽い気持ちで連帯保証に引き受けて借金の取り立て食らったみたいに落ち込まないでお兄ちゃん。
Say, Chinami,
なに
do you seriously understand what being someone's girlfriend implies?
わかってるよ。
Let's hear it.
兄弟よりもずっと一緒にいられる関係だよ。
And?
キスができる関係だよ。ちょっと恥ずかしいけどね。
And?
働かないでお小遣いもらえる関係だよ。
And?
キャベツ畑で男の子を授かって、コウノトリから女の子を授かる関係だよ。
And?
これで全部だよ。この4つがあれば、ちなみは末永く幸せだからね。
Oh, seriously struggling to comprehend how it was possible for someone our age to be so woefully ignorant of sexuality. Listen, Chinami.
なに
There's more to being boyfriend and girlfriend than just that.
そうなの
Yeah.
他に何かあるの
Yeah, it does.
何があるの
Shit, do I really tell her here? Do you want me to tell you?
遠慮しないで教えてほしいよお兄ちゃん。じゃないとちなみはお兄ちゃんの恋人失格になっちゃうからね。
Really?
そうだよ。
Sure you won't regret it?
ちなみはすべきことをする前に根拠なき恐れに屈して後悔するほど落ちぶれてないよお兄ちゃん。
My God, what did I do to deserve this?
このシーンでその態度は恋人として失格だと思うよお兄ちゃん。
Chinami said she wouldn't regret it. But what about me? Could I really say I wouldn't come to regret it? Had I actually fallen in love with her? Sure enough, I did love Chinami, but as my sister, nothing more. That's what I had been thinking to this day. That was no other option but for me to believe that. Being her older brother, that was the only way.
お兄ちゃん。
And like, I'm gonna start skimming here, guys.
Chinami,
Gently.
妖精さんに教えて感じたままでいいってこと考えないで。感じたままでちなみは恋っていうのがどういうもでも感じることはできる。そうだよ。
Maybe I should also stop thinking and just obey my feelings. Guess that's why they call me an egghead. Do you love me?
大好きだよ。
My God, what did I do to deserve this?
いいムードになりかけてたのにぶち壊さないでお兄ちゃん。
Chinami said that she loved me. That was what her heart told her. It was with a carefree smile on her face, so I'd also tell her that she was my beloved little Chinami. You're my Bell.
す
You're my belated little Chinami.
意味不明な上に無性に嫌な表現だよ、お兄ちゃん。
I was able to probably say it this morning. But then again, I didn't mean it in a romantic way at that time. Again, I'm able to see it now due to the embarrassment getting the best of me. Chinami latched herself
お
onto
兄
me.
ちゃん、照れてる。
Not at all.
でも、お兄ちゃん生体記録によると、お兄ちゃんは意味
I
不明
ripped
な
it to
こと
shreds.
3冊目もお亡くなりに。
Where's the last one? Spill it now.
お兄ちゃんがちなみの体まさぐってる。恋人としてじゃなくて、
Exactly.
あくまで鬼畜主人公として
Words
お
that I
騒
would
ぎ
have
して
been
る。
able to say to her as a brother, and now I couldn't say anymore. Was this what people meant when they said falling in love changed the person?
お兄ちゃん、悪い癖が出てるよ。
She latched herself onto me again. I was surprised my egg-headed
感
thinking.
じたままでいいんだよ。
Chinami wrapped her arms around my neck, and I want to die. Answering her appeal, I draw my face close and kiss her, and I want to die even harder. She says,
いいおしここにいたってもまだ言うの、お兄ちゃん。
Okay, this one is kind of funny. It's just this. Anyways, let's just.
おんちで感じてるから。多分。
Yeah,
分
we
かってるん
fucking
だよ。
go. Motherfucker. I slept in a little this morning. I don't know whether to attribute it to what Chinami and I had done last night or me being legitimately worried over how to explain this to Aunt Chino. He's just sitting there like, what have I done? Well, at any rate, Chinami would starve if I didn't hurry and make breakfast. If she had actually gone and started preparing breakfast already, that would be problematic. Told myself I wouldn't stop her from cooking, but at least needed to watch over her as she did it. You could say I was like the corresponding nuclear shelter. It was my job to minimize the damage as much as possible. I nimbly changed to my normal clothes and headed downstairs.
お兄ちゃん。
As I entered the living room, I heard Chinami's voice. She must have been in the kitchen. Why do I have a bad feeling suddenly? Hold on, let me just...
おはよう。
Good morning, she says. Her greeting was spiritless. Did last night leave marks on her? It was still hurt. Maybe it still hurt. Couldn't imagine what kind of pain that was, of course, but there was no doubt it still must have hurt. So if she was preparing breakfast in spite of that, I ought to stop her. Proceed to enter the kitchen. Chinami was in the process of making breakfast. My guess was right on the mark. However, what I didn't guess at all was the point of impact of the nuclear missile that was Chinami.
おはよう。お兄ちゃん。
I slammed my face into the desk. She's in a naked apron for some fucking reason. Yeah. Please take me. Why in the absolute hell are you out here naked first thing in the morning? She was
で
fidgety.
もね、ちなみ
And
に
you see, I got uneasy. She said, I was thinking like maybe there are other things you do when you're boyfriend and girlfriend. So last night I asked
ゆう
for
べ
help.
葵ちゃんに
I
電
asked
話
Aoi
して
and asked her what kind of things they
恋
do.
人としてすることって何
Aoi!
があるか聞いたの。
I gotta still have this one down here. I just want to like go outside and chuck this at something.
そしたら
And
ね、
then, so I told her she should get out here in the naked apron. What in the heck did that girl teach you?
間違
Is
ってる
there
の？
something wrong with it? Chinami says. In some meanings, but at the same time, if not, if you look at it from a different perspective.
じゃあ
So then it's alright, Chinami says. She was bashfully holding a frying pan, and I could see a pack of eggs on the crowded top. I suppose she meant to make, I suppose she meant to make what I could only guess would be fried eggs. Good God, what would Aunt Sheena say if she got up and saw Chinami out in the kitchen, ass naked, wearing an apron? Though honestly, I did get the feeling she might be half asleep or something, then very well just ignore it. Chinami, stop. You could get seriously injured without any clothes on. Go get changed now. But, Chinami says, I understand what you're trying to do, don't worry. Just the fact that you went through that much effort for my sake was enough.
お兄ちゃん。
Only you want me to put my clothes on, Chinami says. Of course I do.
でも
But according to my big brother
お兄ちゃん生態記録によると、
Instagram,
お兄ちゃん
whenever
が
you
武
get
器ラボ
all
な時は
gruffy, you're actually
実
just
は
hiding
照れ
your
隠
base,
し
and
で
inside your mind
内
you're
心で
fighting
は
with
鬼
your
畜人公の
rapist
本能と爆
protagonist
発して
instincts and... What the fuck is a rapist protagonist instinct? I ripped it to shreds.
ちなみのライフワークの最後
My
の結晶
lifelong
が
work is also no more. My final lifelong work. The immense sense of accomplishment of having disposed of all 8 volumes. 4 Big Brother observation diaries plus 4 Big Brother ethigrams made me tear up.
So-
No way, the very purpose of my life that I'd been crafting with my own 2 hands, Chinami says. Chinami was weeping
ための生
sorrowfully.
きがいが
Look, girl, don't get so down. Chin up.
お兄ちゃん
That's purpose in life you have no need for any longer. We'll just have to build some of our own together. That's worth cherishing.
お兄ちゃん
Forcefully brought this whole thing to a moving conclusion.
わかったよお兄ちゃん
Alright, Benicia, from now on we'll record our very own Big Brother development report together for the sake of our future. I'm going to beat your ass. Go figure. I'd only make the first step in this endless path of struggle. Chinami go change. In the meantime, I quickly got breakfast ready. Chinami seemed a little bit unhappy. She thus talked big about how she'd make lunch in exchange, which I readily okayed. I didn't have any problem with her cooking to begin with. Unlike before. That was the kind of relationship we formed. How about you don't form a relationship at all? Our work shift today began around early afternoon. After we had some time before then, we figured we'd stroll to town together. Gotta say, you're even more clean than usual today. This is just
Totally,
of course,
Onii-chan. もはや
as
ちなみたち
couple,
は
we may be
自
a
他と
couple,
もに
but
認め
no,
る
we
恋
aren't
人同士なんだ
acknowledged
からね
yet.
字の方を認めてくれるんだよね
Acknowledge that you're a pill, you mean?
甘々トークを踏みつぶさないでお兄ちゃん
You wanna have a sugary, sweet, rosy conversation? Chinami bobbed right up
恋
and
人
down.
としてすることって葵
Chinami
ちゃんから
tightly
聞い
latched
たん
herself
だよ
onto her
この
arm.
デートも
Onto my arm.
恋人としてすることなんだ
Fair
よ
to the naked paper, that's a perfectly normal thing to do indeed. So where do you want to go?
恋人として行くべきところに行きたいよ
Like a place where we can have a sugary, sweet, rosy conversation. Let's see, which realm of the dead should we go with? We have hell, the Hades.
考えのスタート地点がおかし
Ever been to the music box store?
オルゴール屋さ
Yeah, they sell kaleidoscope music
ん？
boxes
オルゴー
there.
ル屋さんは昔に行ったことあっ
Did you
た
check
けど、
out their kaleidoscope music boxes? Chinami shook her head.
それどんなオルゴールなの？
Like the name suggests, music boxes with a kaleidoscope attached to
万
them.
華鏡が見られるの？
Yep, right while you're enjoying the melody. Chinami closely latched herself onto my arm again.
万華鏡なんて小学生以来だよ。
Guess we'll go there then. Ignoring whether we could have a sugary, sweet, rosy conversation there, I'd say it was a great spot, not just as a couple, but also as a family. I want to die.
お兄ちゃん、
Chinami suddenly looked up at the sky.
今何か当たったよ。冷たかったから、もしかして。
Rain. The moment that thought passed through my mind, a raindrop hit my head as well. It looked sunny, but there were also heavy clouds in the
雨
sky.
強くなってきたよ。
Sure has, yeah.
せっかくのデートなのに。
Thank fuck. Quite unlike her, she was
家
dejected.
に戻るしかないのかな。
Plucked my hand on Chinami's head. That's probably just a passing rain, you know. We'll stop in no time. I don't want to get wet, so let's hurry to the music box store. Chinami clung to my arm even stronger. Look, I'm gonna have trouble running if you cling on to me like
大
that.
丈夫だよ。ちなみとお兄ちゃんはベスト
We
カッ
got
プルの
running
ごと
with
く
linked
息ぴ
arms
ったり
as
だ
if
から
we
ね。
were doing a three-legged race. Turns out that we were actually regularly fast.
ほらね、ほらね、息ぴったりだね、お兄ちゃん。
From an onlooker's perspective, I was positive we looked like the town
デートっ
fools.
て楽しいね、お兄ちゃん。
My God, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do to deserve this? How do you think I feel? Haven't you experienced this? Huh? You're at least somewhat into it. I'm just in pain. Fuck you. I swear I'm about to open up Discord and just let random people invade my fucking recording sessions here. Ah! Fuck this. Actually, I probably wouldn't because that would just attract fucking Tony like goddamn flies to trash. Because we all know this man would come running 10 miles when it comes to little sister routes. Anyways.
走りながらで持ち込めるお兄ちゃんの器用さにちなみもう感服だよ。
I found it just as impressive that you kept running all the
これで
same.
ちなみたちもバカップルの仲間入りだね、お
Well,
兄
it
ちゃん。
was true that we were as dumb as birds. We rushed into the store before the rain was about to come down for real. Aren't you cold?
へっちゃらだよ。逆に涼しくて気持ちいいくらいだからね。
But her hair and shoulders were, in fact, wet. Here, use my handkerchief.
使っていいの？
Sure, I mean, I doubt you have one
お
on
兄
you.
ちゃんらしからの優しさだね。
If I wanted to call myself a good boyfriend, that was only
で
normal.
もお兄ちゃんが先だよ。
Chinami returned the handkerchief to me.
お兄ちゃんが風邪ひいたら心配だしね。ちなみは後でも平気だよ。
Follow me as a surprise. It's totally unlike you to act so
お
thoughtful.
兄ちゃんの彼女なんだからこんなの当たり
The
前
thought
だよ。
process was the same as mine. I couldn't quite decide between whether that what made me happy or just plain embarrassed. It makes me depressed and angry. But look at it this way: it wouldn't be good if you caught a cold either.
ちなみはそんなの引かないよ。なんたってお兄ちゃんも認めるバカだからね。
Jeez, you could be just such an idiot sometimes. I never said I approve of
で
that.
も今バカって言ったよ。
Well, I didn't mean it seriously. Stay still, Chiname. I wiped the places where she was wet before she recovered from her startled state. After that, I wiped myself as well in a quick manner. Chiname giggled while also avoiding mating my
お兄
eyes.
ちゃんありがとう。
Moving on to the more important things, you want to see the kaleidoscope music boxes, right? I took Chiname along to where they
これ
were.
がカレードオルゴール。
I took one and handed it over to Chiname. She carefully took it into both her hands and looked up at me. I nodded, upon which she gazed inside. Reminded me of when I showed Mare. Just like how Mare was totally absorbed in it a little while back, Chiname was also intently peered inside. The interplay of lights coupled with a wild dance of colors, they entered your sight in various forms. So many were there that you couldn't make out all of them. Yet it was still so incredibly vivid. It was a magnificent sight that didn't fall short of Barigasaki's starry sky. Can we please get back to the story important bits? After staying in the store until Chinami was done looking, we figured the rain may have stopped by now and went outside. Ah, okay. I did not expect the Archangel fucking Michael to come down in a second. Why is it as if the gates of to the fucking heavens have suddenly opened? What is wrong with me today? My God, I'm very angry today. I didn't do the anger management today as I said I would yesterday. Mainly because it was raining today, and I'm not about to stand outside in the fucking rain, tearing down a wooden like a small wooden house. Above us stretched out a sky you could only get after a rainfall. Light rain danced through the myriad-colored clouds. Chinami let out a sigh of admiration at the sight. I'd say I sure didn't expect we'd get to see this little extra to the kaleidoscope lights.
お兄ちゃん、ちなみ、また天体観測やりたいな。みんなと一緒に。お兄ちゃんと一緒にたくさんの光を見上げたいな。でも、ちなみはオカケンメンバーだから、テンクルには入ってあげないけどね。
Pursuing lights, chasing after them, and maybe even encountering aliens along the way. Figured it wouldn't be so bad to watch over her pursuits, not only as her brother, but also as her boyfriend.
昨日で俺の授業の補習は終わったし、面倒な雑務も今日で終わり。仕事納めだな。
明日からお休みですか？
ああ、新学期が始まるまで1週間の夏休みだ。
お盆休みと合わせて2回目ですね。
生徒に比べれば少ないもんさ。
部活に精を出す生徒もいるようですが。
そうだな。おかげで子供らに正体がバレそうになった。
ダメ人間。クスクス。
だからそれやめろ。というか、なんでお前姿見せてるんだ？
おかしいでしょうか。
おかしいだろう。
うん。
昼なのに姿を出すの珍しいじゃないか。
はい。この時間は星明かりが弱いですから。
太陽も星だけどな。
陽光だけが強くてはバランスが悪いんです。億を数える星々が高次元領域を広げ、それで初めて私の姿が人の目にも映りますから。
さしずめ、星明かりはドームスクリーンで隕石が投影機といったところか。
そうかも。
周囲が暗くなればプラネタリウムは上映できない。だが明るいからといってスクリーンに映せないわけじゃない。見るのが難しいだけだ。人が視認できる電磁波、可視光には限界があるからな。この4000から7000オングストロームの領域にある光は地球上の全ての生命を育む電磁波エネルギーとなり得るが、地球外の生命にはまた違った波長域のエネルギーが必要なのかもしれない。お前が夜を好む原理はそういうことだろ？
うん。
俺には霊能力や神通力なんてものはない。だからお前のような高次元の存在も普通じゃ知覚できないんだと思う。それなのに昼から自分の姿を俺に見せるのは大変なんじゃないか？
頑張ってますから。
疲れるんじゃないか？
疲れても頑張りますから。
なんでまたダメ宇宙人のお前が？
違います。宇宙人じゃないです。ダメなのは大河君です。失礼です。
今出てこられると人に見られる恐れもあるんだけどな。
そんなヘマはしません。
昼間はいつも声だけで俺に話しかけてるじゃないか。
うん。
どんな風の吹き回しだ？
約束交わしたから。
今は授業中じゃないし別に声だけで十分だぞ。何すねてんだ？
すねてません。
フール。
ま、姿を出してたいなら止めないが。
頭 でないでください。
Motherfucker acting like a harem protagonist. Come on, think for a second.
代わりにこっちを撫でてもいいけどな。
ペンダントの
何拗ねてんだ。
拗ねてません。
このペンダント、隕石は俺の家に代々伝わっていた家宝みたいなものだ。たまに磨いてやらないとな。
意地悪です。
そういう意味で言ったんじゃない。ほら。
頭撫でないで。
これは江戸時代の中期、農民だった俺の祖先が空から田んぼに落ちてきたのを見つけて拾ったらしい。当時のことはお前は覚えてないんだろうが。
はい。私が目覚めたのは君が家を出た後ですから。
俺の家族は俺が天文の道に進むのに反対していた。俺は長男だからな。家業の農家を継ぐのが当たり前だとみんなが思っていた。おかげで俺が大学で天文学を専攻したいと話してからは親とは喧嘩が絶えなかった。だから俺はバイトで貯めた金、奨学金、入試成績の優秀者だけに与えられる学費控除の枠、それらを使って国立大学進学の切符を手に入れた。親とは最後まで分かり合えなかったけどな。そして俺が上京する際、姉貴が隕石の一部を切り取ってペンダントを作り俺に渡したんだ。寂しがり屋のあんたのことだからホームシックになるだろう。だけど意地っ張りのあんたのことだから帰省したりはしないだろう。だからこれを家族と思って大切にしろ。俺に存在に放り投げてな。姉貴らしくなく寂しそうに笑ってやがったよ。その後ペンダントからお前がニョキッと現れた時は心臓が止まるかと思ったかな。
私は君の姉と約束しましたから。眠りの中で聞こえたんです。君の姉がペンダントに向かってつぶやいていたんだと思います。
These people really are big on fucking promises.
君を守ってくれって、一人前になるまで見守っていてくれって。
その約束は俺が一人前になって成就されたわけだ。
一人前ではありません。
そう言うな。今のお前には俺との約束がある。俺はダメ人間だからな。
その通りです。
お前はダメ宇宙人だしな。
違います。失礼です。
俺は人前に出るのが苦手なのに教師にまでなったからな。そうまでしてあいつから霞を奪ったんだからな。だから俺はダメ人間だ。
違います。君は結局は身を引きました。あの二人を再会させたのは君なんですから。彼の命があとわずかと知ってかすみさんに会わせようって決意したんですから。だから私が二人の恋を引き裂いたのに、最後には二人は再び恋に落ちた。彼が亡くなると君はかすみさんを案じたのに、かすみさんは一緒にはなれないと頑くなに拒んだ。
俺に愛想を尽かしたんだろうな。
違います。かすみさんは確かに君を愛していました。私は残酷なことをしました。彼の頼みとはいえ手過ぎた真似をしたんだと思います。恋は 出会いから始まりますから。かすみさんが君と彼どちらと先に出会ったか、どちらの選択肢を先に選んだか、それだけの違いでしかなかったんです。かすみさんは彼と最初に出会ったから彼と恋に落ち、かすみさんが彼を忘れ君のそばにいるようになると、今度は君と恋に落ちていた。だから全てが終わってから、かすみさんは両方の選択肢を選ばないことに決めた。自分だけで子供たちを育てることに決めた。それがかすみさんの選んだ生き方だった。
だとしても俺は後悔してるよ。女手一つで二人の子供を育てるのがどれだけ大変か知っていながら、俺は手助けできなかった。結果かすみはいなくなった。だから
君は私を使わせたんじゃないですか。君はちなみさんと同じです。自分だけを責めすぎです。オルゴールまで作って彼の死を悼んで、かすみさんの死にも責任を感じて。私を使わせて残された家族を案じて。
いろいろとありがとな。
だから頭撫でないでください。
けど言っておくが、その鎌で狩るんじゃないぞ。この罪は俺が背負っていくんだからな。
やっぱり大河君はダメ人間です。
Mishima Taiga had successfully enrolled at a university in its Department of Science with a major of astronomy. Using his semester breaks, he began going on trips. He had summer breaks, winter breaks, and also spring breaks at his disposal that were so long that it was unthinkable that when he was a school student. Taiga thus used them as opportunities to tour all the different planetariums around the country. To enable himself to do so, as the poor college student he was, he had to economize when it came to his living expenses and also take up part-time jobs. Japan is known as one of the leading countries when it comes to planetariums. The story sky of Taiga's birthplace, a rural town to the south, was also a beautiful one. Furthermore, his family revered a meteorite that was being passed down generation to generation. It was only natural that Taiga found an interest in astronomy. Even after he had toured all the famous planetariums, he still found himself craving more. That was when he found himself in Warigasaki's planetarium. There, Taiga met a girl named Kasumi, who was a middle school student at the time. Taiga got in line at the ticket counter, upon which a girl came up to him with her eyes wandering around frantically. She asked him if this was where you bought your admission ticket. And like her little sister Shino, Kasumi had a bit of a pushy side to her. After lining up behind Taiga, likely because she was bored, she would talk to him again and again. Apparently she had to write a movie or book report as part of her summer homework. But since there was no movie theater in Ibarigasaki, she would have had to go to the neighboring town, which costed money. On the other hand, she wasn't much into reading, so she chose to instead watch a planetarium screening simply for the reason that it was in town. She figured she could write a report on her experience. She talked on and on endlessly, even though Taiga wasn't the one who asked her these questions. Then after they had a bread and butter conversation where they exchanged names, where they lived, and so on, Kasumi asked her what a planetarium show was like. Taiga asked her back whether it was her first time visiting one. Taiga, who was normally terrible with people he didn't know due to his social anxiety, was maintaining a chat with her, albeit curtly. Yep, it is, Kasumi replied with a smile on her face. Apparently, while Kasumi was a local, she wasn't particularly interested in the stars. Then I only doubt you'll find a planetarium screening interesting, Taiga still curtly replied upon hearing that. The response Kasumi gave him to that was one Taiga would never forget.
星に興味はないけど、
ひばりが崎の星空は好きだから。お兄さん、旅行できたんだったら、プラネタリウムよりも展望台に行った方がいいわよ。そっちの方がきっと素敵だから。一生忘れられない素敵な思い出が作れるから。
That moment, an unforgettable memory was really born inside Taiga. You could say it was love at first sight. Felt a love that was close to envy towards Cosme, who, like himself, was able to direct such a carefree smile towards people she met for the very first time. After the screening, it was then Taiga who came up to Cosme back outside. However, he kept stammering, embarrassing himself. He wanted to know her number, but nervousness rendered his mouth immobile. Cosme smiled, seeing him stumble over his words like that.
変なお兄さん、ありがとう。面白いお兄さん。お兄さんのおかげで、楽しい感想文が書けそうだわ。
That was the end of their meeting. They said goodbye, Taiga not able to obtain her number, while having been taken for an interesting weirdo. Terrible dejection overcame Taiga. With shoulders drooped, he headed towards the lookout the girl had advised him to go to. As he was going up the long hill, he thought to himself, why do I have to have this damned social anxiety? At that point, he thus resolved himself to overcome it. Love brings color to the world around you. At times it becomes the lube oil to make the cog wheels rotate faster. Taiga hastily thought, I won't let this be the end. I'll meet her again. She's the Barigazaki residence, so I guess her middle school is here as well. Oh, there's actually a school here partway up the hill. Barigazaki High School, it says. I reckon she'll enroll at this high school after graduating from her middle school. By then I'll have graduated university. I'll be a working adult. No, I'll be a teacher. Thought process kind of creepy, honestly. Ah, yes, there's this girl, fucking middle schooler I met while he himself was a university student. And he met just while he was on a trip during a break. And just decides, you know what? I'm gonna become a teacher at a school so we can meet again. Like, Jesus Christ. Buddy! What the fuck? That's right. I just have to become a teacher. My social anxiety will be gone in no time when I teach classes in front of a group of students. And I'll also be able to see her again. Killing two birds with one stone. Shit, aren't I a genius?
俺はかすみと結婚するぞー
The young Taiga swore to Barikazuki's starry sky. And, he failed.
その恋はかすみと再会してすぐ破れたんだけどな。まさかすでに彼氏がいるとは思わなかった。俺の計画の唯一の誤算だ。
誤算以前の問題だと思いますけど。
ここで教師をやってたから俺は科学館の館長になれたんだ。好きなプラネタリウムを
君が科学館を閉館。
好きなプラネタリウムを好きな時に見上げられた。ある意味大成功だ。
君が科学館は閉館したのに、プラネタリウム投影機だけは整備を続けているのは。
俺は未練がましいからな。いつか役に立つ時もあるさ。俺みたいにひばりが崎のプラネタリウムで運命が変わるやつもいるかもしれない。
私は一人心当たりがあります。
誰だ？
君も会ったことがある子です。
誰だろうな。
いずれ知る時が来ると思います。
楽しみだな。
はい。
学校が始まる前に一度実家に帰ってみるか。お盆休みの時にも思ったんだけどな。
急に。
お前も姉貴にちゃんと会ってみないか。お前が初めて約束を交わした相手だ。遠く離れたふるさと。帰省すれば親と農家を継いでくれた姉夫婦が罵倒とともに迎えてくれるさ。俺も姉貴に礼を言ってなかったしな。
もっと早く帰ればよかったのに。ふるさとがあるんですから。一度くらい帰ればよかったのに。
姉貴と電話くらいはしてたんだけどな。
君が一人前になったのなら、堂々と成長した姿を見せるべきです。
どうも勇気が出なくてな。
私のせいですか？私がふるさとを忘れているから。気を使って。
考えすぎだ。
ダメ人間。
ダメ宇宙人。
失礼です。ムカムカです。
帰ろうか、レン。
はい。
まずは直したオルゴールを皆星に預けるとして、自宅に帰ったら旅支度。飛行機のチケットがうまく取れればいいんだが、そして実家に着いたらレン、俺を助けてくれよ。姉貴は口より先に手が出る乱暴者だからな。
はい。キスクス、約束しましたから。ダメ人間のタイガくんを助けるって、タイガくんとずっと一緒にいるって。
いや、いらっしゃい。
こんにちは、宗一郎先輩。
小笠原君たちは今ちょっとお使いを頼んでいてね、外に出てるよ。
そうですか。お仕事頑張っているみたいですね。
君はいつもニコニコしているけど、今日は一段と笑顔だね。
はい、とてもいいことが。
ちなみちゃんが元気に回復したことかな。
はい、それもありますけど、他にも幸せなことが起こりました。
なんだい？家族の絆が深まったのかな？
宗一郎先輩が考えている以上に深まってしまいそうです。
何があったんだい？
私、孫ができるかもしれません。
No, he noticed. Why is she so on board with this? Actually, like she just walks in and that like, oh, I might get a grandchild. Like he's just immediately gonna know. Okay, so that's what's happening.
なんだって？
この年でおばあちゃんは早い気もしますけど、今は幸せでいっぱいです。
Like Soichiro's just over there. Like, hold on, just slow down for a minute. What the fuck did you mean with that? That the two of them find lovers. Like, which of them is gonna be the one to give you the grandchild? Both. Oh, so both of them found lovers at the same time. Wow. Maybe it's my daughter that came together with yours. Nope. They still tell me it's the two of them together. It is. Oh Lord.
よく意味がわからないけど、教えてくれるかい？
内緒です。
妄想が暴走してるんじゃないかい？昔から君はそうだった。
I mean, even me is just like, are you sure you're okay?
天文部の副部長をしていた彼の後を追いかけては、先輩先輩って目をキラキラさせていたしね。
やめてください。昔の話です。
その彼に関してだけど、マヤカが気にしていたよ。
先輩をですか？
正確にはひばり校の都市伝説、男女の恋物語さ。
最近子供たちもよく肝試しをしていますけど。
君はなぜこの都市伝説がひばり校に広まっているのか
想像はつきます。
教えてくれるかい？
多分広めたのは先輩だと思います。もうすぐいなくなってしまう自分の生きていた証が欲しかった。ひばり校の都市伝説という形としてでも残っていて欲しかった。私はそんな風に思います。
そうか。
宗一郎先輩はどう考えていたんですか？
その前にマヤカの意見だけど、マヤカは本当は彼が君のお姉さんに自分のことを忘れてほしくなかったから都市伝説を噂して、そして君のお姉さんに忘れた自分を思い出してほしかった、その表れだって言っていたよ。
マヤカさんらしいですね。
マヤカは好きな相手に忘れられたいなんて考えられないって言っていたからね。
次は宗一郎先輩の番ですよ。
僕もまた彼が噂を流したと思ってる。だけど理由はもっと単純なんじゃないかな。彼はひばりが崎の星空が好きだった。だからひばり校の生徒たちに肝試しとしてでもいいから夜に校舎の屋上に登ってほしかったんだ。そして 星空を見上げてほしかったんだ。
だとしたら素敵な理由ですね。
ロマンチックだろ
本当の理由を知っている人はいるんでしょうか。それとも先輩にしかわからないんでしょうか。姉さんも知らなかったんでしょうか。
それは僕にもわからない。今度三島先生にも聞いてみようか。蓮に出会うことができるなら彼女にも。その二人が知らなくても、もしかしたら誰かが探し当てるかもしれない。知ることができるのは誰になるのか。もしもその誰かがこの都市伝説を解いた時、その時にはひばりが崎の星空を好きになっていたら、彼も君のお姉さんももちろん僕たちも本望なんだろうね。
お兄ちゃん、いよいよだね。
Yep. Shinai currently stood in front of Ibari High school gate. As for why, it was due to something that came up when we were done with our work at Milky Way just earlier. Also, his dad suddenly asked us if he'd like to retrieve the repaired music box. Our former advisor was never enthusiastic about repairing the music box. Hence, now that it was repaired, there was the possibility it would make up reasons and actually never come by to return it. Someone just messaged me, hold on. Okay. So we should catch him before he escaped. That was essentially what he said. It was a Saturday, so there weren't any of the extra classes meant to serve as prep for city entrance exam going on, but apparently he had to come to school. Apparently he was on break starting tomorrow till the opening ceremony day, and was now at school getting stuff ready for his classes in the second term. You could see why also his dad said he might have made his escape. Once he went home after his work today and we let him slip, we wouldn't be able to see him until the new school term in a week. I myself wanted to meet him sooner rather than later if possible. I wanted to meet him and talk to him. I want to hear that voice once more.
学校にいるんだよね、タイガさん。
Yeah, should be. I had never once met my father, and I think the same went for Chinami. I might have met him as an infant, but I wouldn't remember that. As far as I could think, I'd only seen him on photos. Yet still I vaguely remembered just his voice, and know when it was that I heard it. Maybe from when I was still just a baby. Or possibly he talked to me back when I was still in my mom's belly.
ちなみ、ドキドキしてきちゃった。
Same here. I was seriously nervous. My throat had gone dry and my palms were sweaty. Let's hope there's no vomit on the sweater already. Bad jokes all round. I don't even like rap. I didn't know what to say to him. Would he realize that I was his son upon seeing me? Would he take positively to it, assuming he did? My worries were endless. However, I knew that this was something that I had to get over with. Chinami took my hand.
一緒にいるからね。
I also took hold of Chinami's warm hand. The person that entered my sight looked like someone just left the school building. It seemed like it was just one person, but at the same time, it also looked like there were two. Let's go, Chinami. The two of us, with each other, walked forth. Chinami and I, hand in hand, took that first step together. Hey, old Dad! Is that it? Ending credits? God, that was short! Thank God I didn't end it there. I was considering ending it there. Right? that would have been highly awkward, wouldn't it? Yikes. Are you still not ready, Chinami? Jesus, hurry up! stood at the entrance shouting up the stairs. The new term starts today! If you don't get down here, we're going to be late!
だってこの制服着るの久しぶりだからリボンとかボタンとかうまく止められないんだもん。
She said the exact same thing on attendance day. Well, I did expect it, but things really weren't any different now just because it was the second term this semester. The fact that we're a couple now did nothing to change that either. I swear, just what happened to that zeal of hers back during summer break when she was so enthusiastic to make breakfast? When school had started again, Chiname proved to be the usual Chiname, like dimwit good-for-nothing little sister. It was the first day after the long summer break, so I would have really liked her to have the capacity to turn over a new leaf, but I suppose that dream would never come true. Leaving behind a sigh, I stepped outside. Oh, wait, morning.
おはようございます。
What do you do as well, Suzuha?
やっぱり遅刻ギリギリなんですね。
Right back at you.
お兄ちゃん待って。
Once is enough. Twice even.
うるさいのが来た。ちなみさん、おはようございます。葵ちゃんと鈴葉ちゃん、おはよう。
You're late.
今朝は寝坊しちゃってね。ゆうべ寝る前に妖精さんが来てお話ししてたから。妖精さん引っ越しちゃって今までみたいに気軽に来られないって言ってたから、ちなみがその分おもてなししてて寝るのが遅くなったんだよ。
Yeah, I guess your usual delusion was at work there. So what did become of your summer break homework in the end?
おもてなしに忙しかったからどうもなってないよ。
Come on, you can't be serious.
そういえば今朝は鈴葉ちゃんも遅いんだね。はい夏休みの気分。ちなみと同じだね。
No, you sleep in practically every day.
まったくもって。お姉ちゃんも人のこと言えないと思うけど。みんなもう急がないと遅刻だよ。
Completely forgetting it was her own fault, she urged us energetically, while latching herself onto my arm, of course. Don't cling to me, would ya?
いいんだよ。ちなみたちは恋人同士なんだからね。仲がよろしいことで。二人はお似合いの兄弟だと思います。
Presumably due to Chiname's usual speech and conduct, no one believed her, even if she said we were a couple. Well, I guess that was a lot more comfortable than having to endure all the strange teasing we'd get. By the way, Aoi, there's club today after school.
いきなり何ですか？
Figured I'd remind you right now so you don't go and skip.
テンクル、晴れて部活になったんだよね。
Yep, should be starting today. Hiskaki will attend the student council's meeting today and get the okay.
そううまくいけばいいですけど。
And on the subject, once we're an official club, I think we'll need a club advisor. Well, it seems like that isn't obligatory, though. But still, I had found just the right person for the job.
もしかしてタイガさん？
Yep, they'll remember he's Mishima sensei at school.
ダメだよお兄ちゃん。タイガさんはちなみたちおかけんの顧問になってもらうんだから。
You guys are just a circle, so you don't need one.
それは間違ってるよお兄ちゃん。ちなみの宇宙人捕獲大作戦はたとえ肉親だろうと恋人だろうとちなみのために働くことが前提で成り立ってるんだから。
Boyfriend, who are you talking about?
素で聞いてるならひどい仕打ちだよお兄ちゃん。私も三島先生がテンクルの顧問なら賛成です。
Huh, I didn't expect you to support the idea.
恩がありますから。もしかして言わなくていいから。
She held down Suza's mouth. Suza, don't you have to get going?
もう走らないと遅刻です。ちなみたちも走って向かわなきゃね。のんびりと急ぎましょう。
Are we running like this,
それ
Chiname?
は愚問だよお兄ちゃん。
She flashed me a carefree smile. That smile of hers, I couldn't help but think, in that moment, that it strongly resembled our mom's. Brightened the world for everyone around her. And to me, it was like this very symbol of our family.
ちなみはいつだってお兄ちゃんのそばにいるからね。
Sounds like hell.
ちなみたちはずっと家族なんだから。
Something about them forever being family. I guess. Like I said, I don't speak Japanese, so don't fucking quote me in any of these. It's dark now. The fuck? Oh well, anyways, I'll just press on this in case something suddenly new shows up. Just being careful. Nothing suddenly new showed up. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm gonna go record the setup for the next route. Bye-bye.